He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. These words, spoken by Epictetus, underscore a fundamental Stoic truth, that our perceptions unduly color our experiences of reality. Too often, we allow the biases of our inner monologues to distort our view of others and ourselves. The quiet ones among us are a prime example. On the surface, their reserve and introspection can be easily misinterpreted as indifference, shyness, or melancholy. Yet by examining 10 fascinating psychological facts about these seldom understood individuals, you may find your perspective radically shifted. So spare a moment to walk the path of the quiet ones with an open mind, friends. You may find their profound attributes resonate in unexpected yet profoundly enriching ways. Before we begin, I would appreciate your support. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any posts. If you like the theme of this video, please comment +1, and if you don't, please comment with 0. We look forward to hearing your feedback. Number 1. Quiet people. In this loud and frenetic world, the quiet ones can go unnoticed, their values and strengths overlooked. We live in a society that tends to celebrate extroversion, the loud talkers who draw attention to themselves. But just as the sun's brilliance can blind, so too can excessive noise deafen us to quieter yet profound truths. Do not mistake the quiet person's silence for lack of substance. The most certain sign of wisdom is cheerfulness in adversity. The quiet ones have an inner reserve of strength that allows them to remain steadfast amidst life's turbulence. Their placid exteriors mask depths of character forged by self-reflection. People of few words are not necessarily shy or lacking in confidence, nor are they angered, depressed, or bored by the world around them. Theirs is simply a reasoned presence cultivated through the Stoic practice of pursuing virtue while avoiding the transitory distractions that entrap others. Within the humble, quiet person can reside extraordinary qualities. They are often highly curious, self-motivated seekers of knowledge. Sensitive and empathetic, they tune into the unspoken emotional frequencies others miss. Prudent and patient, they do not rush to rash judgments. Their powers of perception and recollection are honed by the close observation missed by louder souls. As Heraclitus said, "The content of your character is your choice. Day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become." The quiet person has chosen to cultivate an interior life of contemplation over the Sturm und Drang prized by the masses. Are you overlooking the extraordinary among the unassuming? Open your eyes to the still waters that run deep. Therein lie unseen currents of wisdom to guide you on your philosophical journey. Number 2. Psychological facts about quiet people. As Epictetus taught, the essence of philosophy is that a man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. By unveiling 10 illuminating facts about the inner workings of the quiet mind, you can better understand and appreciate those who find peace not in external pursuits, but through wisdom, fortitude, and self-mastery. Cultivate an openness to glimpse beyond society's loud clamor. As Seneca wrote, "There is no person so severely punished as those who subject themselves to the whip of their own remorse." In understanding the quiet ones, you may find relief from suffering of your own making. Fact number 1. Not necessarily shy. While the quiet person may speak infrequently in boisterous gatherings, do not conflate their peaceful reticence with mere shyness or social anxiety. Unlike the shy ones who wish to fade into the background, the quiet ones are wholly comfortable within their own skin. They simply recognize that in the absence of purposeful speech, watchful listening often yields richer rewards. When among their closest confidants in settings of trust and intimacy, you'll find the quiet ones can become quite loquacious and gregarious. Like a meandering stream finding its throat, their words flow more freely when not constrained by social expectations of verbosity. They are simply judiciously selective with their expressions. Do not talk a little on unworthy subjects, nor much on any. The quiet person understands that needless chatter on trivial matters is empty noise lacking in virtue. When they do speak, they have cultivated the Stoic discipline to ensure their words have substance and meaning behind them. So do not project your insecurities upon their silent confidence friends. A quiet disposition reflects not a lack of courage, but a composed inward strength. As you encounter life's inevitable adversities, you would be wise to emulate the quiet one's judicious use of speech over imprudent blinderamic utterances. Open your ears and heart to their sublime silence. In it, you may hear the whisperings of your own enlightenment. Fact number 2. Incredibly loyal. The reserved demeanor of the quiet person masks depths of constancy and commitment, unmatched by those who fracture their spirit across myriad shallow connections. When a quiet individual grants you their trust and friendship, it is an honor, hard-earned, not a fleeting fancy to be taken lightly. For the quiet ones measure their words with the same parsimony they apply to investing their loyalty. Once that valuable commodity is bestowed upon you, it is affixed with unyielding adhesion. You have become integrated into their tightly held inner circle, a part of the unshakable ballast that steadies their calm centeredness. This fidelity stems from the Stoic virtue of creditability, upholding duties and keeping one's word even under hardship. When present in friendship, there is no tempest that cannot be withstood, no storm that cannot be safely harbored through. Rome may eventually fall, but the quiet person's loyalty shall endure long after its final brick is turned to dust. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." When you secure a quiet friend, you gain a companion who cherishes the moment more fully, because their fealty is not transactionally beholden to fortune's ephemera. Their loyalty is your shield against vicissitudes. So prize the quiet ones who hold your affairs as sacred trusts, friends. For while fair weather friends are abundant, finding the loyalty of a quiet soul is one of life's rarest and most valuable pursuits. Nurture that bond, and it shall reward you with contentments fickle voices cannot fathom. Fact number 3. Not necessarily angry or depressed. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The quiet ones have mastered the Stoic art of controlling their inner mental discourse rather than being enslaved by passing emotions. When a quiet individual removes themselves from boisterous surroundings, it is not out of sullenness or pique. Rather, they are simply hearing Seneca's guidance that we should take time to be alone. No one can live in a crowd. There's too much baggage. The solitary periods are not punitive exiles, but restorative retreats to recharge their energy reserves. The quiet ones cherish unstructured moments of silence and introspection as opportunities for qualitative contemplation unfettered by distraction. Their placid withdrawal is not melancholy, but a conscious realignment with their inner equilibrium. From this centered state of equanimity, they emerge revitalized, not hindered by the destructive forces of untempered anger, anxiety, or depression. Does the ocean itself grow wrathful and depressed because its immense depths lie unremarked by hurried souls fixed only on its turbulent surface? Of course not. Like the ocean, the quiet person has an innate, abiding stillness that courses steadily regardless of external conditions. Open your mind's eye to these individuals and do not misinterpret their reserved mannerisms as bitterness or moroseness. For their silence speaks not of life's negativity, but of an inward connectivity to life's profound affirmations. Choose always the way that seems best, however rough it may be, and custom will soon render it easy and agreeable. Fact number 4. Curious, independent, and self-motivated. Do not mistake their selective speech for aloofness or disinterest. Beneath that tranquil surface courses the eternal student's drive for deeper understanding. Their mindful silence is the womb where profound inquiries gestated until ready for illuminated birth through discourse with the rare kindred spirit. The quiet ones are self-motivated autodidacts who require no external whip to persist in their chosen pursuits. When left to their studious solitude, their focused powers of concentration, imagination, and task commitment are incomparable. Like a sculptor chiseling toward their unique vision, the quiet person molds their personal and professional ambitions through intensive introspection and determination. Seneca wrote, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." This fundamental Stoic maxim animates the quiet ones. While groupthink seeks consensus guidance, they trust their visionary instincts to light the way, exhibiting a grounded self-confidence that requires no bravado or self-aggrandizement to propel it forward. So do not reflexively discount the quiet person as an unengaged or rudderless friend. Their silence conceals a driven, curious mind, constantly working, theorizing, analyzing, questioning, and solutionizing. When you witness their innovative ideas, labors of creative craftsmanship, or groundbreaking discoveries, you are glimpsing the fruits of their prolific isolation. As Marcus Aurelius advised, observe always that everything is the result of change, and get used to thinking that there is nothing nature loves so well as to change existing forms and make new ones. The quiet ones intuitively grasp this wisdom, riding continuation currents to transform their visions into self-actualized realities. Fact number 5. Highly sensitive and empathetic. As Marcus Aurelius taught, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. The quiet person intimately understands this truth, for their boundless empathy causes them to vividly internalize the joys and sufferings of those around them as if they were their own. In company, the quiet one is not merely a passive observer, but an emotional tuning fork, their stillness a concentrating valley where the winds of human experience are funneled and acutely felt. They perceive the unspoken anguish and elation that others miss, discerning the delicate frequency of the soul's music. This profound gift of empathy emerges from the quiet one's willingness to openly receive and reflect upon their emotions, rather than reflexively judging or repressing them as societal conditioning often mandates. Theirs is the vulnerability of truly feeling the world's ups and downs without averting their tender gaze. We are not disturbed by things themselves, but by the views we take of them. In this light, the quiet ones are indeed disturbed, but by the deepest universal human disturbances. They see beyond surface trivialities to make soulful connections through our shared mortal condition. Do not mistake the quiet person's gentle manner as distance or dispassion. Within them rages the full spectrum of emotions, experienced with souls bearing rawness. When granted their intimate trust, you may finally hear their internal tempests given a blessed voice. This elemental sensitivity can seem a burden, but the empathetic quiet one alchemizes that burden into life's most transcendent joys: true communion, profound understanding, and the ability to spark profound awakenings in others. What is the first business of one who practices philosophy? To get rid of self-conceit. Without this, the person is a mere toy. Fact number 6. Not necessarily bored. Leisure without study is death, a tomb for the living person. Far from being bored, the quiet individual has cultivated the art of finding profound richness and stimulation within the very stillness and solitude that others reflexively avoid. When the quiet one removes themselves from incessant socialization, they are not growing restless, but intentionally creating space to feed their vibrant inner life. Like studious scholars, they devour the works of philosophy, literature, and endless subjects of curiosity with rapt attentiveness. Their minds are constantly occupied, just divorced from the distracting ephemera that bores those trapped on the outward turn. Nor are the quiet people bored or disengaged during organized discourse. In fact, their silence often indicates just the opposite. They are diligently absorbing every word and nuance with a laser-focused presence. Choose always the way that seems best, however rough it may be, and custom will render it easy and agreeable. The quiet ones rigorously adhere to this maxim by actively listening to discern truth, over-inhibiting life's noise with superfluous utterances. When the quiet individual does speak, it is with intent and precision, born of deliberative thought and articulation. They exemplify Epictetus's decree that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say. Each utterance is maximally impactful. Ultimately, the quiet ones have learned to satiate their souls from the underground wellsprings of contemplation, creativity, and tranquility. Your mind will be brightest when you are content with the present, and can look serenely on the future, and can embrace patiently the memory of the past. Boredom is simply not part of their being. So open your heart to these remarkable individuals and appreciate their presence rather than reflexively mistaking their silence for disinterest. Their powerful stillness exemplifies an engaged mind and substantive inner depths worth exploring. Fact number 7. More self-aware. This radical self-awareness is apparent in the quiet one's humble willingness to evolve and transcend their current state. Unlike the boastful who are tethered to vindicating their ego identities, the quiet person's fluidity allows for constant reassessment and refinement based on new wisdom acquired through their eternal studentship. Caretake this moment. Immerse yourself in its particulars. By quieting external noise, the quiet ones become tremendously present and attuned to their genuine thoughts, emotions, and tendencies. This clarity equips them to course-correct misalignments and consciously reshape patterns no longer serving their values and aims. Through their treasured solitude, the quiet person develops an unshakable sense of self-possession. Very little is needed for everything to be unshakable and peaceful, to be free from violence and injustice. With their rudder firmly anchored in authenticity, the quiet ones steer steadily amid inevitable storms, unconcerned with society's performative inauthenticities. So rather than recoiling at their reserved ways, one would be wise to emulate the quiet one's path of radical self-honesty and reinvention. For in doing so, your soul elevates from depths of ignorance towards the enlightened self-actualization they exemplify. Nature's greatest individuals, from sculptors to philosophers, created their masterworks through prolonged periods of purposeful isolation and rigorous introspection. The same wellspring of profound self-awareness beckons those brave enough to embrace the wisdom of celebrated silence. Fact number 8. More emotionally stable. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. By vigilantly divorcing their inner selves from external transiences, the quiet individual avoids being hurled about by passing passions and circumstances. Their emotions arise, crest, and dissipate like waves across a vast ocean swell, felt yet never ungroundingly consumed. This emotional equilibrium emerges from the quiet one's staunch commitment to radical self-awareness and purposeful solitude. Through their cherished silences, they become attuned to their core values and beliefs, erecting firm philosophical lighthouses to beacon through life's foul weather deluges. When storms rage, they right their vessels by realigning with their immutable ethical principles. Contrast this reserve with those forever caught in whirlpools of distress, blindly reacting to perceived misfortunes and phantoms that possess no objective reality. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. The emotionally stable, quiet ones clearly demarcate merited concerns from mirages, conserving their energies for meaningful battles. And yet their temperance does not indicate apathy or dispassion. On the contrary, by unhitching from ego-driven dramas, the quiet person ensures their emotional springs arise from profound human connectedness. Their sympathies flow uncorrupted, allowing fullness of empathetic joy and sadness, while avoiding being scattered by momentary hyper-emotions. In summation, aspire to emulate the quiet ones and master your emotional domains and friends. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. When you temper needless emotional extremism, you liberate yourself to be fully and vibrantly present without past or future stresses leaching your contentment. Such is the quiet power of equipoise. Fact number 9. More patient. Patience is key to the quiet person's way of being. Being over-anxious to achieve an object is itself a great obstacle to its accomplishment. The quiet ones allow life's currents to unfurl organically through their heightened awareness, rather than constantly straining against the natural flow with haste. This patience springs from the quiet individual's propensity for stillness and their keen powers of observation. That stillness hones. Alert yet unhurried, they absorb every nuance of their surroundings, sights, sounds, emotional frequencies. Information is gathered in full before being synthesized into prudent judgments. All is ephemeral, both memory and the object of memory. The irony, friends, is that our hyper-pace too often outruns our very ability to sip the rich moments we insist on racing through. The quiet ones, conversely, linger to immerse themselves in each experience's unique essence, savoring subtleties, lessons, and gifts too easily washed over. When you bear witness to the quiet individual's thoughtful words and deeds, understand they germinated from patience. No rash judgments or reactive outbursts were they, but distillations of wisdom chillingly tempered. Whenever you're offended, apply this principle. It wasn't the fault of the one who misspoke. It was yours. The quiet exemplifies this teaching. So pause and emulate the virtuous patience of the quiet ones, I implore you. For in doing so, you awaken to the hidden splendor within the very circumstances you have been reflexively stampeding through unexamined. And, from that enlightened awakening, all else worthwhile naturally blooms. Fact number 10. Highly observant and good memory. There is nothing the busy person is less in control of than their own self. But the quiet individual has mastered ruling their attention, refusing to let it be hijacked and dissipated by distraction and fracturing. Their mind is a still pool, able to vividly reflect and absorb every ripple upon its surface. From this rapt watchfulness emerges the quiet one's preternatural ability to amass and synthesize information into penetrating insights. While the harried multitasker grasps at surface impressions, the quiet individual perceives the subtlest nuances, patterns, and interrelationships that foreshadow profound understandings. Theirs is an almost supernatural command of recall as well. Each day, we should question every detail of what we have done. The quiet ones instinctively follow this maxim, meticulously cataloguing each day's minutiae into enduring personal almanacs. What appeared insignificant whispers at first blush become roaring revelations upon deeper retrospection and unrushed study. From this potent confluence of observation and recollection comes the quiet person's uncanny faculty for unraveling complex issues others resign to unsolvable. Root causes and unexpected solutions become discernible under their searching, unhurried gaze. Like percipient sculptors, they painstakingly contemplate the obdurate marble of a problem from every angle until its hidden form is finally released. Embrace the quiet person's powers of exquisitely attuned witnessing, friends. Their studied presence is no mere eccentricity. It is a vibrant conduit to enhanced perception, enlightened memory, and the code-breaking of life's most vexing mysteries. There is only one way to tranquility, through the cultivation of reason. The quiet ones show us the path forward. We have journeyed together today to uncover the remarkable depths residing within those often overlooked quiet individuals among us. What initially appears as inscrutable silence and removal conceals multitudes. Profundities of self-awareness, sensitivity, emotional stability, and so much more. Let us not resign ourselves to the remorse of persisting in biased misunderstandings about the quiet ones. Their great reservoirs of patience, loyalty, curiosity, and attentiveness to the world reveal many lessons we would be wise to embrace. Do not be deceived by society's clamoring distractions that blind us to these underappreciated souls. So I invite you now to ponder these truths, to share this message, and to open yourself to appreciating the quiet person's ways. Their path is an ancient one, of seeking the profound through judicious stillness. Will you be brave enough to glimpse its lights?